friends of Loyola TV and friends in the Lord. I am very happy to be here to share with you another important theme called the personal discernment according to the mind of St. Ignatius.
Growing stronger and stronger as fighting lasts longer and purer to make heaven surer with crosses and trials and many denials will stop. But to die true, loyal to our King who reigns on high. Ignatius, lead us on till we die.
There are two types of discernment. One is called the personal discernment and the other is called the group discernment or communal discernment. We can also call communitarian discernment. But in this, I like to share with you the personal discernment according to the mind of St. Ignatius. In the spiritual exercises, numbers 169 to 189, we see the notes for personal discernment. My dear friends, there are two types of people on whom two types of spirits act in two different ways. Very simple, the personal discernment is. Ignatius says there are only two types of people. Who are they? Morally good and morally weak. One who moves from good to better, the other moves from bad to worse. On them, two types of spirits, the good spirit and the evil spirit, act in two different ways. What else on which we can simplify the personal discernment of Ignatius? In the personal discernment, there are 10 important steps. If we follow one step to another in a scientific way, we will come to the realization of what God's will for me in the personal way. The first step is all through the discernment, I will have only one prayer, and that prayer is, Lord, move me to what is pleasing to you. Lord, help me to find out your will and only your will. The second step is I gather all relevant data. The data may be on the personal level, on the interpersonal level, on the familial level, or on the religious level. I will gather all relevant data. For example, on the personal level, how this discernment process would affect me personally. On the interpersonal level, how this decision will affect my friends and others. On the religious level, how my life in the religious life may affect or may not affect through my discernment process. The third step is making a clear proposition. Let your proposition be simple, concise, clear. There are three important things here. It should be simple, it should have clarity, and it should be concise. For example, I will change my job, or I will leave the religious congregation, or I will get married to such and such a person. Is it complicated? No. Is it simple? Yes. It is clear? Yes. Is it concise? 100% concise. And so, my dear friends, the third step is making a proposition which is simple, clear, and concise, would lead me to only two options, not very many options. One is yes and the other one is no. Yes, I will change my job. No, I will not change my job. Yes, I will leave the congregation. No, I will not leave the congregation. Very simple. The fourth step in the personal discernment is the very, very important step. What is it? It is about the interior freedom, the inner freedom. How much am I interiorly free to get into this personal discernment? Am I having pulls and pushes? Am I having fears and anxieties? Am I having prejudices and biased views? If I have that, I cannot do the personal discernment, because this fear indirectly will affect my decision, and so I have to become aware of it. You may ask me a question: is it possible for me to come out of fears and anxieties 100%? No, not at all, my dear friend. But if you become aware of it, of those fears, of those anxieties, of those prejudices, then these would help you to look into yourself without having any kind of disordered affections. Fifth step, my dear friends, is from the third step. We have made a option. Take option A. What is it? Yes, I will leave the congregation, for example. Collect all the data, all the informations. No need of making it an order. Very important, less important. No. Put everything together, whatever comes to your mind. Write the option A and then make a list of whatever reasons for this particular option. The sixth step is the option B. What is that option B? No, I will not leave the congregation. Write down all the reasons for this particular option of I will not leave the congregation, or I will not do that job. No need of making any priorities here. Whatever comes to your mind, write it down. We will do it later. Now the only point is on option A and on option B. My dear friends, in the personal discernment, the seventh step is also another important step. I will take option A with its reasons before the Lord and read it quietly, and I will find out how it affects me. Does it give me consolation or desolation? You may ask me, what is consolation and what is desolation? These are very much spiritual terms. Consolation means giving me a tremendous amount of joy, peace, hope, faith in the Lord, etc. What is desolation? Sorrowfulness, sadness, making me not having peace, disturbance, confusions, etc. Then I will take option B and I will read it slowly, and I will find out how these reasons affect me. Does it lead me to consolation or to desolation? So the seventh step is not only on the reason, but how does it affect me on the affective level? For Ignatius, together with reason, the affective dimension is as important as that of it. My dear friends, the eighth step is the wisdom of Ignatius. I have read so many books. I have read so many saints who have done a research on discernment, but nobody has said like that. What is that? The seventh step will lead us to three options. That is the beauty of Ignatius. The first option, a clear-cut difference. One side consolation and the other side is desolation. The second one side more consolation and the other side is less consolation. The third, one side confusion, the other side confusion. If you have any other, please let us know. First, presuming that one side consolation and the other side desolation, choose what gives you consolation. The second, one side more consolation and the other side less consolation, choose the one which gives you more consolation. The third, one side confusion, the other side confusion, that discernment did not lead you to any decision making. Keep it aside for a week, for a month, or for a year, till the Lord moves you. The ninth step is the continuation of the eighth step. So we have made a decision. For example, I will not leave the congregation. If you have come to that decision through your discernment, then keep that for a week or two. And also just think about and reflect over again on the decision that you have made for further confirmation. For Ignatius, confirmation is a very important tool to find out whether I have reached to the right decision. And so the ninth step is in a way the continuation of the eighth step of whatever decision you have taken in the eighth step. The 10th step is something unique. It is for the religious group, priests, religious men and women, brothers, seminarians, and others, those who are in the religious world. You are making a personal discernment, and you have come to a decision on the personal level. And with that decision, you are going and meeting your higher authorities, superiors, provincials, mother generals, father generals. Suppose your personal discernment is in accordance with the discernment and the decision made by the generals or the higher authorities, then there is no problem. But my dear friends, there is a problem here. Suppose you made a personal discernment and came to a conclusion, a decision, which is totally against the decision of your superior. What will happen? What will happen? Can you hold on to your personal discernment? You can have a dialogue. But even after the dialogue, your superior holds on to his or her opinion. What will happen? What will happen? The simple rule, according to the Ignatian tradition, is the grace of the authority of the provincials overrules the personal discernment of the individual. Because, my dear friends, group discernment is better than the personal discernment. Do you have confusion? I am sure. I have decided with all my personal discernment, and came to the conclusion, and somebody else is deciding for me. My dear friends, that's where obedience lies. Ab audire, to listen to the voice of God, to listen to the voice of God coming from the superiors. That's it. My dear Loyola TV viewers and my dear friends in Christ Jesus, this is what all about the personal discernment. It is a scientific procedure. 10 steps leading you to a conclusion. 10 steps creating in you a way to find out what is the will of God for me on the personal level. If you get a chance, my dear friends, please read Numbers 169 to 189 of the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius. And I wish you all the best.